Hey, Jackie.
Hi, guys. How's everyone today?
I'm doing well, and we have a pretty awesome guest today.
We do. We have the famous cosplayer, Lyz Brickley.
Hi.
I believe on the last
announce you as that. A famous cosplayer. Isn't that fun? Famous.
Oh, yeah. So
like your Niagara Falls trip.
Not cringy at all.
I actually thought her name was Lizarino, because that's what you called her on the last episode.
Yeah, or Janet. You know, I also call her Janet.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's a lot of names that float around. Liz is pretty good at giving everything in her life a nickname. Like like the way Harrison and Bill name and you probably name your tools. Liz names everything in her life. Like her dogs, Schmooties, and Butter, Jelly Bean, and Coco all have lots of different names, lots of different ways she talks to them. And Sean has like Swain and Bear and Sean. Like you have to really get around her before you know if she's talking to you or someone else. You do spend a little time with her.
I once heard that like the amount of nicknames you give something is like the amount that you love it.
Oh, wow. Oh, all right. I like that.
Excellent.
Good.
Excellent. Well, Liz, it's awesome to have you on the show. You're one of the people that we've talked about even before we started the show that we wanted to have on the show, and we finally caught up with you. So that's exciting. So
yeah, thanks so much for having me. I'm really excited to finally be able to do a show with you guys.
It wouldn't be also without you.
Yeah. And also, I have to tell you guys, the intro music is really my favorite thing. Every time I watch an episode, I'm always like getting down to your 80s space intro music.
I was like, yeah, I like this.
I'm glad you like it. I mean, and the funny thing about the intro music, it was literally like I found it in like 2 seconds because it was like I was trying to get the first episode ready to go and up, and I was like, I just went onto YouTube. I was like, I need some kind of cool, funky sounding music, and I like 80s retro kind of stuff. So, and I just ran across that and was like, oh, I'll just use this for the first episode and maybe find something later. And it stuck, and I actually really enjoy it too. So
yeah, it's really good.
So, well, thank you. What can you, and just in case anybody doesn't know, Liz is the person that Jackie refers to when she says, my friend Liz, or my best friend Liz, or Liz
throughout
Marino.
every single episode.
Almost,
if you play a drinking game,
I think your name has been,
in hospital.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure your name has been mentioned in pretty much every episode up to this point. So now people can put a voice and a face to the name. So, but so let's just start with a little bit of background.
Let's get to know you. Can we get to know you, Liz?
What can you tell us about Lyz Brickley, the famous cosplayer?
Oh,
when I first met you, No. So when I first met Liz, I'm going to start with this. So Liz is my best friend. I love her so much. If she needs some of my kidney or a whole kidney, I can't give part of a kidney. I'll give you some of my liver and then a kidney. No big deal. We can talk about that later. So it's I'll take a dog in exchange. I must have the Coco. I need the small fat one. So when I first met Liz, I had watched all of her videos and I saw her content. Not like I studied her because we were going to stay in a room together for the first time, but I had seen her online. So I thought she was so funny and quirky, and I wasn't really sure if that was her real voice or not. Like I didn't know what she was doing with that, but and that still to this day probably remains her number one asked question.
Oh yeah,
is this her real voice? And I found that even though her content was so fun and so quirky and you felt like you could relate to her, but you didn't get to know a lot about her. She was a little mysterious. And lately, she's given us a lot of fun story time videos and things like that. And I feel like you've opened up to your audience more, which I feel like for me, if I had an audience of, almost 300,000 people, that would be pretty scary to start to open up more. So what has changed in your life that has made you want to tell people more about yourself and open up to your audience? Are you less scared of the social media platforms? Are you more confident?
Yeah, I think that's probably it. I feel like the older I get, the less I worry about what people are going to think about stuff. And I felt like when I first started sharing content online, it was cosplay, and I was really comfortable just sharing photos of cosplay because that was something that was kind of I didn't have to talk. It wasn't like a video, It was just a nice, safe thing that I could put out there and people would and so I didn't really know how people would react to my deep weird,
Yeah.
kind of putting some of that out there lately.
Your double sweatpant, kind of weird.
Yeah.
Tucked into socks.
Yeah, but I really enjoyed like putting that out there more, and like I feel like I've kind of put my feelers out there and found more people who are also weird, and it's like a great little community that we built up with like inside jokes, and I don't know, it's been really rewarding, I guess.
So oh, go ahead, Eric.
Oh, I was just going to say, but prior to doing cosplay stuff, you actually you did modeling before, is that correct?
We think that me and Eric are on the same page. We're just like so in tune, Eric. Like that was exactly where I was going. I was going to say your social media platforms have spun off around cosplay, but you did a lot of crazy stuff before you even had this 300,000 person following that was related to your costuming. Like you were a model and you tried out for America's Next Top Model, didn't you?
I sure did.
You're just a little shorty, though. You're just too short.
I was too short. Which, in hindsight, it's probably, for the best that I wasn't on a reality show, because that show got, like, pretty crazy. Like, I really liked it the first few seasons, and then it just kind of became less about the modeling and more about the drama, so.
So, wait, they rejected you because you were too short?
But you made it through to the point where they you got into it to some degree, and then they were like, nah. Did you lie about your height?
I did lie about my height. See, that's the thing. In modeling, everybody lies about their height. Unless you're like 5'10", you lie. Like if your agency, if your like comp card says that you're 5'7", you're like 5'4". Especially in LA, like a lot of girls are shorter out here because it's not like a high fashion capital like New York and Milan, Paris. Like all the girls out there, that's like where they do the big fashion weeks. Everybody's like tall and runway model. But yeah, the America's Next Top Model thing was, I got contacted by the casting director to come to the casting, and there was about 200 girls, I'd say, like between 1 and 200, and we were in this hotel ballroom all day, and it was like this long waiting process, and then there were different rounds where they brought us in and asked us a bunch of questions about ourselves, and you kind of like sell your personality or whatever, and I told them that like I like to play video games, and I think that's what kind of sold me because nobody else is playing video games in that room. Yeah, and then the next round, I went back and waited with some girls, and then the next round was like the height thing, and I was like very obviously the shortest girl in the room. And they measured up really tall. I was like, oh please, just. And I'm like actually just under 5'6", but I used to be 5'8" or whatever. Like because the thing is, everyone says they're 5'7" because that's supposed to be like the shortest you can be.
That's kind of like the lowest entry level, huh?
Right.
You were counting the bun, is what you were doing.
Like this bun is about 3 inches. I'm 5'8".
Good.
But it was kind of like if you say you're 5'7", everybody knows you're shorter. So my agent's like, oh, you're 5'8", just write 5'8". I'm like, okay.
Oh, but it was okay that the Lyz I know today wouldn't ever want to do like a hardcore reality thing. Yeah. I think you're a host, you're a content creator, you're a comedian, you write your own, you're just the funniest person I know. So to me, I don't know, I think reality is so highly edited around a certain thing that it would stifle you. And so I think you do need that kind of like nurturing environment for the type of person that you are. So it works out for the best, but you did you get I'm going to mention a couple jobs that you did, and did you get these before or after America's Next Top Model, or what? You can actually check all of these things out on her LyzBrickley.com site too. You can see like all of her fashion photography work, which is like crazy, and like a magazine cover. That was something that you got. You did 2 music videos. One was a very scary nurse. Can you tell us about those jobs?
Okay,
did you get that
stop the bus. Time? What music video has a scary nurse Lyz in it?
Oh, it's real scary.
It's great though. It's this band called the Murder Dolls.
The Murder Dolls.
It's like, I think the drummer from Slipknot, it's like his other band or something. I don't know. I just went to this casting, and they wanted like a pale blonde girl to be a nurse, so I got the job.
And you're like, hey, I'm pale blonde and I'm 5'6".
Yeah, it was like a lot of stuff in LA, like the height's not a big thing. It's just... So it was fine.
But the other music video, didn't they, which is interesting now, didn't they use some of your costume stuff? So it was like it was the beginning of the transition to the dark side.
Yeah, so the second music video is a show tech video, and it's kind of like this, I think they're Danish, like hardcore techno or something. And that was actually later. Like I had already kind of been out of modeling for a while when I did that one. I had pink hair at the time. And
yeah. And you were the focus of that video, which was so funny to me. Like how do I just find this out? Like in December of last year. And it's all Lyz. Lyz is the focus. She's like the
concerned eyebrow close-ups. The whole
it's very concerned. She's a lot of running, very scary.
People that are just listening to this won't be able to see, but can you give us concerned eyebrows? I'm really curious if you could. Look at that. Oh, my heart. I don't know how to feel now.
No, it's true. And all she has to do is just anything. She'll just melt your heart so bad.
I am really impressed that you can just pull it out just like that. Wow.
Yeah.
Have you ever considered professional eyebrow modeling?
I don't know if they're that good.
They're good. They're real good. So, some of the other things that you did, I guess, before that second music video, you did a lot of like high-end fashion modeling. And those of you that go check out these photos, you're going to die because Lyz she's such a dorky, genuinely quirky, kind of geeky, smart girl that, and you can be sexy and smart, I ain't saying that, but like to see her so dolled up and so like cover of Vogue style was crazy to me. She's beautiful, but these photos are just something that I'd never even, like, I didn't even expect this from you. So I recommend everybody go look at them. What made you decide to do those kind of like high-end fashion photography? Like, did you have a passion for it? Did it make you feel beautiful? What drew you to that kind of world?
I think, before cosplay, modeling was kind of my creative outlet for a while. Like, when I first started doing it and I was like trying to build up a portfolio, before I was with an agency, I was kind of just doing like photo shoots with photographers that, kind of just like they did photography like as a hobby sometimes, and some of them did it like kind of semi-professionally, and I would get to collaborate on a lot of the shoot ideas, and I just really fell in love with that. Like, I like to dress up for photo shoots, and I still
the hair, the hair in those photo shoots is like some of the coolest hair I've ever seen.
So some of it was just like really stylized, and I loved that. Yeah. And so, it was, I wasn't making costumes at the time, and that was what I would pour like all my creativity into.
So can I ask what I know the answers to all these questions, but I'm going to ask for y'all and for Eric, because Eric is like real into like modeling and things like that.
Of course.
Highly stylized photography. Yeah. What made you decide to leave it all behind and start cosplay? Because you don't even really do modeling anymore that isn't your own hyper-controlled creative modeling. Like, you set up your backdrop, you build dead people to put on the couch, the photos. She does it all. So it's all in your hands now. Why did you leave the modeling side and go into cosplay?
I felt, once I was signed with an agency, it kind of became less about creative photo shoots and more just about going to castings and getting jobs that were just really commercial stuff. And I don't know, it kind of lost like the creativity thing for me, and it just became like so much on all my value was just based off the way I looked. Like, these people didn't care about who I was. Like, I was going into a room with 20 other girls who looked just like me, and it was just like, just kind of, I don't want to say dehumanizing, but a little bit, and it was kind of just, I don't know, I felt like I wanted to be valued off of things that were more than just like what I look like.
Yeah. So, you have to be able to use your beauty and your brains in your own way to be creative. So
and so I found cosplay around that same time, and I just kind of was like, all right, see ya, to like the modeling stuff.
So when you say you found cosplay, what was like one of your first big costumes that you did, or maybe had you ever before that, had you ever gone to a con or anything like that, or what was that experience for you?
Yeah.
So I made a costume for my first con, which was Blizzcon in 2009, and
so
I didn't
you started
know.
Small. You said you started
she started so small.
Just gonna go to this little con called Blizzcon. A couple of my friends.
Oh yeah.
Well, at the time,
it's so cute, though.
So Sean, my husband, he had been to BlizzCon in 2007, and when we met, we played WoW together. And I had always been like a huge Blizzard fangirl. Like Diablo 1 was like the first game that I was ever really, really into, like back when I was 9 or 10, I think. And so I've always really liked Blizzard, and he told me how cool BlizzCon was, and we decided that year was the year we started dating, and we're like, yeah, let's go. So we bought tickets. And then when the con got closer, I was kind of like, I'd heard of like Comic-Cons and stuff, and I knew that people dressed up, but I had never heard the word cosplay. I didn't know that it was such a huge thing. So I was like, I want to make
find a lot online back then. So
oh my gosh, no. And I didn't even think to look it up, honestly. Like I just was like, I'll make a costume. I'm going to go as like a night elf druid. And I made this like really terrible, like everything was hot glued together. Like I used Blizzard had, I don't know if they still have it, but they had this like makeup and ear kit for night elves with this terrible like cream makeup and these like terrible ears that like don't stay on at all. And I wore that and I used that and I just looked crazy. I just went to Michael's and bought a bunch of stuff, and like when I got there, I saw these other costumes and they were so incredible. Like you guys know how BlizzCon is. It's like everything's over the top, lights up, things are spinning, with the motor. And I mean, even back then, and it blew my mind. Like I was actually like thinking, I found out there's a costume contest, and I was like, oh yeah, sure, like I'll enter that. That sounds fun. So we get to the signups and we were kind of like late, and I'm so naive, have no idea. And the guy's like, well, you can walk across the stage if you want. Like the signups are already full, but like, well, you can walk. I'm like, and Sean's like, yeah, you should do it, babe. And I was like, okay. So
supportive boyfriend.
Yeah. So I go back there. The guy pulls the curtain back and kind of ushers me through, and I just see these like giant costumes. Like this is just insane. I would be like, what is this? And I'm sitting here in my little hot glued thing, and I'm like, I'm just going to go out and watch.
I love that story. And the funny part is I've seen the picture of you, and like you look cute though. Like you may say it's like, this janky first starter thing, but it's very casual cute, which Lyz can be casual cute in anything, which is just crazy. You're so, you're just you look like a deer, you're just those big doe eyes. So everything is just beautiful on you. But the funny twist in this story, which I'm glad that you said, you talked about how you saw all those amazing costumes, is that backstory, I buy the virtual ticket every year and I watch the costume contest, which is really funny because I didn't recognize her. But Lyz has competed multiple times and has placed in the BlizzCon costume contest, which to me,
that's awesome.
I was like, dude, you're so cool. Like when I found that out about her, I was like, oh my gosh, you're just like, I thought you were a cool friend, but like you've been elevated a couple points now, because to me, that's the holy grail. That's a really difficult costume contest every year.
That's definitely
hardcore.
Definitely an honor to even place.
Yeah. So tell us. Go ahead, Eric.
I was going to say my first experience last year, I was there with Vert Vixen because I helped her with her sword and stuff. And, you go backstage and there's like 100 people back there waiting to go on stage. Yeah. And most cons and contests, you could be like, there's probably like 10 people that really stand out, and the rest of the rest of the 90%'s like, hey, those are really good, but maybe not worthy of winning a contest. And you go backstage at BlizzCon, and out of 100, there's like 90% that are like, you could just go, okay, you, and you all place, you win, and everybody go, okay, we get it,
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like the competition is insane there. It just blew my mind. So placing multiple years, that's definitely a feat in and of itself. So
tell us what costumes you made. And which one, and I already know which one placed, but tell us about the one that placed and which ones you made. I just find it so interesting that, I watched those costumes those years were killer. So it's amazing. In one year, I definitely felt like you got shafted because I loved that costume and I was very upset. I was like, dude, you should have placed. But I don't want to slam the other people because now that I've rewatched them, I know a lot of those people. But you definitely, Deer Butt. I love me some Deer Butt.
Yeah.
So tell us about the costumes.
So Deer Butt is my loon. She's an NPC and from WoW. And that was my first costume that, like, when I decided to, like, dive in, I was like, I'm gonna cosplay. Like, I spent, like, 6 months making that, researching everything. At that point in time, this was in 2011, I had seen every single Centaur cosplay on the internet. You know, I was just trying to figure out how to do it without... Because I didn't want to do wheels, because, you know, I felt like, you know, I want to try to make it look like it walks and try to give that illusion. And so, gosh, that costume, like, I learned a lot making it, and it was my first, like, really big thing I made, and I just felt like, well, it's BlizzCon, you got to go hard. Like, everybody goes all out. That's the con to do it at. So,
what year was that one?
2011.
Or 2011, that's right. Okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that was... I mean, that got, like, an amazing response. Like, at that time, like, I was so new. I didn't know anyone. I didn't have, like, any following. I didn't have a Facebook page or anything like that. And so, like, the reaction, I was like, I didn't even know really how to, like, react to it. But they had
Blizzard liked that enough to invite you to be a cosplay guest at one of the, was it Miss the Pandaria?
Yeah, I wore it to the Miss the Pandaria launch party, and that was really fun. Blizzard used to have these, like, big launch parties down at the Irvine Spectrum on this stage, and you could come, and it was open to the public, and they were really fun. I wish, Blizzard, if you're listening, you should probably do more of those, because they were awesome.
Yeah, I watched, there's video of that, too, so you can see Lyz there, and it was a big, I mean, that was, like, a huge event. I was shocked when I watched the Mott video. It looked like it had, like, concert and food, and people were just, like, partying, and that was really cool. So, what was your next costume?
So then they didn't have a BlizzCon in 2012, and then they came back in 2013, and I made Lilith, who is, like, a lore character from Diablo, and the only reference image I had is, like, this little tiny portrait from the Book of Cain where you can, like, see her horn. But she's, like, this demon lady.
Which is behind you, isn't it? The Book of Cain.
Yeah, oh, yes.
Of course it is, in that nerd bookshelf. That's I'm so envious.
And, she's like the mother of the Nephilim in the Diablo lore, and I made her, and it was kind of like half original design because I had to kind of make up what wasn't there, and I made these, like, big demon headpiece with horns and big, like, demon wings, and I wore hooves on my feet and stuff, so I was pretty scary. Oh, and I wore, like, black sclera lenses with things. So
you were very scary. I didn't recognize you when I watched it.
Yeah.
And it was latex, wasn't it? You made the wings out of latex?
Yeah, so the wings were, I wanted them to look like, you know, like a membrane, kind of like a bat, or, you know, like a demon wing. So I did, like, a really fine mesh, and then I coated it on both sides with just, like, a liquid latex, because, you know, at this time I didn't know anything about smooth-on products back then.
But that's ambitious back then. Like, I still have only used latex one time, like, in a very small test piece. So, like, the fact that you were like, oh, my next BlizzCon costume, I'm just going to make giant latex wings. Like, that's crazy ambitious. Like, you weren't very... You seem a little fearless, which is crazy to me, because a lot of people are scared to just even cut their first piece of foam. They'll buy a stack and leave it in the shop for, like, 3 months because, like, I don't want to waste it. And you're just like, latex with no
Yeah, you just got to go for it. I mean, that's how you learn. As you guys know.
Yeah, and make sure that, you know, when you're going for it, that you in that learning process, that it's 6 months before a con and not 3 weeks.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Oh, we know that also. Don't wait 3 weeks. Yeah.
You know, and I put that out there, not saying that I've ever done that, but, you know, the ideal is that you plan ahead and have some time.
But we have.
Because, I mean, that's really the best way all of us learn, right? Trial and error. I mean, you can read about processes over and over and over again, but until you really try it and see what you can do with it, I've learned the most by failing. So I don't know about you guys. Is that the same for you guys?
I only learn by failing.
We know that about you, Jackie. I'm curious about Lyz.
Yeah, Lyz. She learned through my failing also.
She just never fails, I suppose.
I learned from the Encyclopedia of Jackie.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, don't do that. Because I'll like, something will fail for me, and I'll spend 3 hours reading forums about how to fix it, and I'm like, Lyz, just keep this in your brain bank for when you need it later. But
I swear, this girl knows everything. Like, she's just, I was watching one of your guys' other podcasts, and you're saying that you kind of dabble in everything. But, I mean, she really does. Like, she'll tell you how to propagate a succulent, how to wire an LED. Like, she knows everything.
I love some succulents.
I know, right? Yeah.
So I'm like, go to Lowe's and just pop the leaves off. You don't have to buy the plant. Sorry, Lowe's.
That's real.
It's real. She like had pictures of these cute black ones. I was like, yes, girl. She just popped them out of somebody's garden. But yeah, that's so funny. But that's definitely a very ambitious material to work with. And you are one of the rare friends I have that have worked with it and succeeded. So that's, kudos to you. And you guys should check out that Lilith. And that is the year you placed. So you had to walk back on stage in the final four, like all up there. What wasn't the final four? I think it was.
Oh gosh, I don't remember.
Or was it right before they narrowed down the final four? Because there was only like 8 of you on stage, wasn't it? I can't even remember when I've watched it like 3 times.
I can't remember when I was there.
She's on the final. It's like the final slew, and I feel like we had a friend up there as well. Was that the year that Caitlin placed or was up on stage in the finalists with you?
Do you remember that? I don't remember the costume.
Yeah, it was her variant. That was later, wasn't it?
I don't remember.
Y'all, we all blurred together.
It all kind of blurs together. I just remember there was like a really cute fursuit of like a druid, and she was in like a cat form, I think, and her boyfriend was backstage brushing her like right before we went out, and it was the cutest thing I've ever seen, and I was just like, oh my gosh. I remember her being next to me, and I was just like.
That's crazy. That was a really impressive costume. And didn't they call you Brinkley that year, which is a common thing?
It might have, yeah.
Brinkley.
Yeah, that's become a running joke. Like I even sent her a package to Lyz Brickley because
Buckley, like we get all kinds of stuff.
It's so funny. Like Jay Moore had a little bit too much to drink that year. So then the next costume that you made for Blizzcon. So Lilith was ambitious. You were a finalist. It was a gorgeous costume. I have never seen it. Has it died? Did it die?
Yeah. So I have the head. I still have everything except the wings. We actually donated the wings, which was strange. I just thought it would be like I didn't want to throw them away, and I was like, well, it was when we moved, and I was like, I don't think I'm ever going to use these again, which I regret actually. Which is why I'm a hoarder and I save everything usually, and so
gosh, you do, yeah.
Because I'll throw it away, and 2 weeks later I'm like, man, I wish I had that.
Yeah, Lyz has 2 giant walk-in closets that are full of costumes and stuff I had never seen before. She has like full painted armor chest pieces that like I tried on one time when I got there, and it's like I don't even know what it's for. It's for like a job she got hired for, and then it didn't work out. She just has a lot of stuff. She's definitely a hoarder. What was your next BlizzCon costume that you made?
Oh gosh, that was. I made another deer butt, which I don't really like. Like it was rushed, and I had a whole bunch of other projects going on while I should have been making that. So I like made the deer butt, and I was like kind of happy with how it came out, but everything else I kind of rushed together, and I just like that's like probably one of my least favorite costumes. Is that one? Is second deer butt, because the first deer butt I loved, and it was just
that's not the deer butt that's upside down in the garage, is it?
Oh, it is actually.
Oh, that's that one. See, she says it's bad, and I was like, dang girl, that deer butt's cool. Which is so funny now because Lyz has, so in her professional life, she's evolved into a cosplayer, and she does it for fun and for the love of the hobby. But she's done a lot of professional work, like after the Hearthstone thing. Lyz worked with me on the Hearthstone project, and thank God for Lyz, or I would have gouged my eyes out, and I don't know, I'd be walking around blind in California right now, just wandering. So she got a lot of professional jobs, and now she has now made another kind of mascot costume. You recently worked with a company called Figment Foundry, and what have you been working on? What are these animals that you're creating?
So I've been doing the foam work. So it's for a theme park in Malaysia for their parade, and they're doing like some animal costumes that are like puppeteer costumes that someone can strap in like to.
They're huge.
And they're like, I think we made a hyena and a zebra, and the hyena I think is like 8 feet tall. Yeah. And they wanted me to build the body parts out of foam, so it would be really lightweight, and they don't really work with EVA foam. So I patterned out all the base parts, like the arms, legs, chest, neck, and then they're doing like the head and hands. So all I'm doing is just basically building a bunch of foam stuff in my backyard. But I've done.
But it's come full circle from your little deer butt. Yeah. And the zebra is a 2-person puppeteer. Like it's that big, isn't it?
It's huge. Like I had to put everything together in my backyard because it's so big.
So on those specific jobs, are you doing the engineering part of it too then, or are they or do you get more detailed plans from them since they have kind of?
So they're building the skeleton out of like carbon fiber pipes, and then I am just building like kind of bulking out the frame with foam pieces. So I have a basic idea of what it's going to look like, and then I did the paper patterns in the shop for the zebra because I did that recently, and I just kind of used butcher paper, put it over it, and how you do.
Oh
yeah, how you do.
Yeah.
It's
Like
a team of you working too, which is nice because it's like it's nice to have a specialty to fixate on, because when I like the team kind of assembly mindset, because when you're doing it all, I myself have so many things just around me right now that are like in varying stages of completion. Mm-hmm. And when you have an assembly team, it's so nice. Like if the foam work is your thing, you can completely, you just fixate on foam. And that's, I like that a lot more. And then you have somebody else that's gluing the fur on, and then somebody that made the, the carbon fiber frame. So I just like that. I feel like that's maximum efficiency. I wish I had an assembly team.
Yeah, it's been really great. Like just being able to be like, here's the foam, bye, and like make the next piece. And they're amazing. The Figment Foundry people, they specialize in like a lot of monster stuff. They're like Monster Palooza type people. And, They do cosplay. They have cosplay. They have this really amazing like Illidan costume that they made a few years ago, and they do the full body cast stuff, and they're incredible. Like they make all kinds of cool stuff. Their workshop is amazing, and they have a Facebook page.
Are they based in LA?
Yeah.
They based in LA?
They're in Ontario, which is like nearby me. It's actually like 10 minutes away from my house, and it's like about an hour east of LA.
Yeah.
So it's cool that it's like someone who isn't actually in LA.
Yeah. And Lyz works with Smooth On, so it like they connected her with this job, and it ended up just being in her backyard. So it was like, what better situation? And it's like a big industrial park kind of thing, so it works out well for them. So they have a lot of space, which is crazy that it was right there all along. And these companies get the pleasure of working with, recommend.
Kind of speaking of Smooth On, I just kind of feel compelled to just give a shout out to them, because they support makers really well, and
they do.
I just kind of and like all three of us work with them, and it just kind of hit me. It's like Smooth On really does a great job of supporting people and helping our community a lot. So just kind of a shout out to them while I'm thinking about it. So
they're amazing.
Yeah,
they definitely, and they're growing more and more. And like, think of all the products that they've created in the last couple of years that are like really targeted towards our kind of makers, like wearable armor, like that. They've been around for a long time. They've made all kinds of resins for boat building and stuff like that, things that are practical in day-to-day life, but like the creative art side has really come about a lot more in the last like 5 years, I'd say. And they've just they're very supportive. So it's awesome. If you have a Reynolds near you, you should just go in. Reynolds and Smooth On, same thing. So it's apparent. So just go into your Reynolds, and they will like tell you everything. They'll answer every question. There's tons of samples. All the stores are equipped with made props, helmets, armor pieces, aquarium decorations, anything that you can actually feel how the stuff works. So
visiting one of the shops, I got to visit the one in LA when I was down there for Blizzcon, and it was really cool to go in and just see all the samples and see stuff by people I know, like Chad from Hoku Props has a mask in there, and and some stuff like that.
Where's your breastplate, Lyz? Which store has that?
It's in the LA store.
Is it in the LA store?
Yeah, they also have my wolf and bear pauldrons too. We're gonna like swap them back, because I'm making them a copy of my Dark Souls shield. I actually finally made the mold and mother mold and stuff, so I just have to cast it and paint it. But when I get that finished, we're gonna swap, and I'm gonna give them a copy, and then I'm gonna get my stuff back.
Awesome. That's very cool. That's really cool. Is there kind of like on the materials topic, is there all of us work with different materials, but we each kind of have like a go-to material. Do you have like a material that you just really love working with, that you're like, if you're planning a project that's like, I really want to make it out of this, if I can't make it out of anything else kind of thing? Is there something that you just really love using?
I'm a foam lady. Like, I love working with EVA foam. It's so easy to wear. It's like so comfortable. I just love it. And it's cheap. And I also like to sculpt and cast pieces if I can, but that doesn't always apply to every costume. But I enjoy sculpting a lot. But I'd say foam is my number one.
Yeah,
because you sculpted and cast stuff before you cosplayed. She used to make jewelry and like tiny. She worked with polymer clay and made these like tiny, cute little like Totoro in a bottle kind of thing with like an umbrella, and it's like miniature jewelry.
Oh, that's cool.
I guess. Yeah, it's really cool. Like when I discovered that, I was like, oh my gosh. Oh, I just hit the thing.
So you just have like this
she sculpted animals too.
You just have like this really deep creative background then, it seems like.
Yeah, she's always been
Yeah, I
creative.
guess so. Yeah, I've always liked sculpting. My dad has this little thing I made out of clay. Like, gosh, I don't even know, maybe like 20 years ago. And it's like this little sculpture that's like all these colors mushed together. Like it's supposed to be me, and it's like he has it in this little glass thing so it doesn't get ruined because it's not.
He's covered in glass. It's amazing.
Because it's like soft clay still. Like it could get smushed, but it's cute. My dad kept that. But I've always enjoyed sculpting and like creative stuff a lot. So
I totally get that with sculpting because the more I sculpt, the more I like to do it. And one of the things I've found with sculpting is you kind of have ultimate control, you know? And you don't always get that with like Worbla or foam or something. I feel like with clay, I'm able to kind of create exactly what I want. Is that something that you find similar with your experience with sculpting? Or?
Yeah, I think so, because it's kind of like, you can always like add more clay or take clay out, and it's a very forgiving material. Like you can always kind of keep going. I mean, with like monster clay and stuff, like epoxy sculpt is like, hey, you gotta work time, you gotta hurry up, and
it's like a direct reflection of whatever your brain translates through your hands is what the clay creates. So it's really like it's a direct link. I wanted to mention something. So obviously you've evolved from creative photography, which is something you still do, into cosplaying sort of as a career, because you do a lot of, you do tutorials, you do material testing and stuff like that for companies. And you've been hired by a lot of companies to do booth work or promotional work because you create fast. You have a lot of costumes. You're tiny, so it helps that, you get to make it on pint size. But you play a lot of video games. You and your husband both do. So you have, you find something you like and you make it. That's what you've always done. But now it seems like you are definitely focusing a lot more on your video content. And I know that you really like editing, and you've put a lot of time into getting better with that. You work with Adobe Premiere, right?
Mm-hmm, we do.
Yeah. And do you find the same kind of gratifying creative feelings that you get with cosplay in video creation?
Yeah, I definitely do. I think that it's kind of like allowed me to kind of flex my humor, which I've never really done before. Like I've never really put out there like things I think are funny, or kind of like me being silly and stuff. And so it's been a really new and exciting thing having people tell me, oh, you're so funny, I love this video, but it has nothing to do with cosplay or modeling or anything I've done before. And so that's been really cool and really fun. And I love thinking of skits, and it's like a new creative thing, because it's like I come up with these like ridiculous skits and sometimes outfits to go with it, and I can like really turn up the ridiculousness, and that's been really fun. I enjoy it a lot.
Well, we enjoy it.
Yeah,
Thank you.
You've been killing it with the videos. The text message one, just I showed it to everybody I know. You have to watch this.
Me too. It's just like,
and
Aunt Mary gets out of the hospital, I'm taking her back to Albuquerque.
And they're all like, "Oh my gosh, it's so true! It's so true!" And just seeing like a visual representation of what's, and then seeing your interpretation of how you do these different characters. That makes me ask. I mean, do you have any acting background? Because as I'm watching that, I'm like, man, Lyz has got some chops. I mean, she can throw some different characters out there. So that made me curious. I mean, have you ever done any acting before? Or?
I did. I mean, not really. I was in some plays as a kid. I was. I was in like the Wizard of Oz play when I was a kid, but not really. I just. I mean, to be honest, like when I uploaded that video, I was sitting there at 3:00 in the morning, and I just finished like putting in the subtitles and stuff, and I was like, is this even funny? Like, is anyone going to think this is funny? And so I went to bed like, well, I guess we're going to see. And I just, I mean, the response was like overwhelming. And I was really, it made me happy that other people thought it was funny, because it was just me being my like weird, goofy self. And
it's hilarious.
It was such a great way to make fun of something that all of us females deal with to some degree. I mean, I contributed one, which was the beautiful Sharpie abs.
Yours was the Sharpie abs was yours? Wrong window?
I got the wrong window one, which makes me happy. I've never had any cucumbers or carrots or squash, yellow squash. So I'm really happy. Thank the Lord for that. And that's not an invitation. Don't challenge me.
Well, our listeners are way upper crust than that.
Oh yeah, they are.
Our listeners are like,
which
they're way
our
beyond
listeners
that.
would really enjoy your style humor, because I've always told Liz, like, she has a very if you don't like, it's that she has a very witty sense of humor. She's very it's that upscale kind of par humor, and some things you have to really pay attention to get the jokes. It's not necessarily slapstick. She has slapstick humor, but she also has these funny little highbrow, snarky kind of jokes.
Which is my kind of humor. My kind of humor, exactly.
Yeah, I love that. It reminds me of a little Sherlock Holmes. If Sherlock Holmes was a cute little tiny cosplayer that made funny comedy videos.
So on the texting video, did you come up with the whole idea? Is that all? Is that everything? So you don't have anybody else like helping you write or anything like that, or?
No. Sometimes on some videos I do collab with friends, and I love that so much. Like,
gotcha.
The message video, I just kind of thought it would be a funny idea. I actually, when I filmed it, wasn't really sure, because I'm gonna be honest, like, I didn't really have a video idea like that week. I was just trying to, like, so I try to upload a video every week, and I usually upload on Wednesdays, and that weekend, by the weekend, if I don't have an idea, I'm like, all right, I gotta come up with something. So I filmed it the day before. I filmed it that Tuesday, and I just was kind of like, well, I mean, I think it's funny, and maybe other people will, so I'm just gonna do it. And but sometimes I have more time, and I collab with friends, and I actually, even Jackie, like, I'll bounce an idea off of her. So what usually happens is, like, I'll come up with, like, an idea for a video, and I'll ask, like, a few of my friends. Like, I asked Jackie, Ben, and then Nick and Erica, who are two friends I make videos with a lot. And everyone will kind of, be like, oh, it's really funny. I like this. Like, what if you did it like this? Like, like my Virgin Killer sweater video, Jackie came up with the kite idea, which I think is so funny. Like,
by the way, another favorite of mine, because that was
I was going to mention that. I really like that. I love the car washing part. She just looks so happy. Sweater. I just really enjoy it.
And I like the way that you've chosen to take, like, things that are kind of popular and going around through the community, and just kind of poke fun at it a little bit, because I feel like there's, like, so much super seriousness sometimes and everything that's going around, and it's nice to have somebody just be like, hey, you know what? Let's laugh at this thing. So, and I love that. I love that humor.
A good perspective on that.
So, but I have to say, in the messages video, the produce part of it, just absolutely brilliant.
It is. I laughed through the whole thing. I was like in stitches laughing, and I'm brutally honest with Liz, and I expect the same from her. Like, I respect her so much, and I think she respects me, hopefully. And we're very creatively open, because I want to know if something is just, like, not a good idea. And same for we get deep with things like that. And she has all these amazing ideas, and her phone is full of just notes of ideas and video ideas, and we'll bounce ideas off each other. And when I saw that, I was like, this is genius. Like, this, you need to do more of this. I love that she cosplays. I love her tutorials. I want her to always do that. But her sense of humor, I want more people to see that. She has just so many funny ideas and so many just things that she does in her life that I feel like people would like to see. Like, the way that I like some reality shows. Liz is just such unscripted, just real. I've lived with her for like a month, and everything about this girl's life is a little funny. She's a little funny. She walks around the house, 2 pairs of sweatpants tucked into socks, shirt tucked into 1 pair of the sweatpants, and it's like 85 degrees outside, but she's always cold. It's just, and like she always, it's just little things like the interior crocodile alligator. Like, you put your turtle on the freaking skateboard and just does a little video. I'm like, who the heck has who has a turtle and a skateboard to do that? And like, what is that song? I don't know. Like, she just puts me down these rabbit holes that are just ridiculous. And she's that. I think her fans that already feel connected to her and like you, I feel like they like those little glimpses. And that's the truth. Whenever if you look up a lot of these big content creators, they give to their fans a little bit of themselves, a little peek inside their life, and people love that. It's that friendship connection. And I feel like you're letting people into this side of you, that the photos, the highly polished, beautiful photos that you produce were the beauty side of you. And this is like, you're letting people into that into your brain, which is fun and scary.
Well, scary, but Jackie's been like super supportive. Like just knowing her has like elevated me to this whole other level of confidence because she's like, "You're great and you can do it," you know.
Yeah, Jackie can definitely be a confidence booster. So
yeah,
without a doubt. So and it's good. You know, it's like it's one of those things where you surround yourself with not just like talented people, but people that have kind of a more just kind of positive outlook on whether it's art or life or, you know, whatever the thing you're working on. And it kind of creatively helps kind of just boost your morale for yourself, you know, because I mean, because we all kind of, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but for me, it's like I get between projects and I just kind of like, I'm just kind of deflated, you know, it's just kind of like,
yeah. Oh,
you know,
we do too.
You know, and you're just like, when am I going to start on my next thing? And I have all these other things I want to do. And do I take this other commission? And do I do this? Or do I just sit on my butt and watch TV? Because that's so much easier.
Yeah. So, we do the same thing. Yeah.
But if you surround yourself with people that like push themselves and then kind of help push you, it's super motivating. So
they help pull you out of it.
Yeah. Which is something you guys definitely get from each other.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you know, we all need our period in between projects to kind of recharge and just, like, go to a K-spa and, you know, be naked in a steam room.
And look at those cute little Korean Harry Styles boys. Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, that sounds like another video in the works. No.
And lay on those Himalayan salt rocks. I was in paradise. It's like a whole nother world.
Yeah, I took Jackie to this Korean spa in Irvine, and it is, like, the best. They have, like, a cafeteria and all these, like...
And you wear these like
rooms that are
clothes.
yeah.
We were naked.
You can get naked if you feel like it. There's like steam rooms and stuff. You do naked things in, and then there's other rooms
naked things in. It's very fun.
You just you hang out naked, and then there's like these hot rooms, and there's one with Himalayan salt rocks, and there's a cedar room. It's good for your skin, I guess. And it's just really relaxing
And it's all like, it's in this big, it blew my mind. I'd never even seen anything like this. Like Liz was like, oh, it's fun. I had this TV image of a spa, but it's crazy. You go in and women and men are segregated, you know, because there's naked time, but then you come back together in this beautiful like communal area that has like street lamps and heated floor tiles and like these like loungy chair cushions and things on the floor. And it's very clean and very like, well polished, and it looks like a little city. Each one of the rooms that she's mentioned, like the Himalayan salt and stuff, they have like a beautiful outside decoration and cool doors to go in. Like I felt like she took me to like a spa amusement park.
I'm sold.
Like,
I want to go. I want to go.
It's
now.
great.
I need that in my life.
Go.
I definitely need that in my life.
My mom couldn't believe that I got naked in California with another lady, like going out. She was like, "What is this?" And I was like, "Mom, they do this there." Like,
it's okay, Mom. It's California.
I'm like,
things are a little different in California. So.
Yeah. But it was amazing. I felt very like rejuvenated. I enjoyed that. I could use that again sometime soon. But that's great. Right. A creative lull. Like I just went through one like 4 days ago. I started a creative lull. Like my creative lulls are strong. They come on like, I can't look at this anymore. Get it out of my face.
I'm kind of there with the Wonder Woman sword, if you know what I mean.
Okay, good. So. Yeah. Mine was like my shoulders. If I had to gosh darn tape another piece of anything in this building, I was going to just match the whole place and light it on fire. Like I couldn't handle it. I don't want to tape anything. I'm tired of it. I hate it.
Are you talking about taping for masking?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so tedious. I hate it.
It's so tedious. And I have had nothing but bleeds because I suck so hard at taping. Yeah. Yes, I get that. Like, oh, Jackie, it can't be that hard. Whatever. I don't want to. Don't give me that lip because it's hard.
I don't know. I don't think I've ever had a successful taping where something didn't peel off or didn't bleed through the tape. I don't know how people do it, honestly.
I've got the peeling off mastered because the frog tape is brilliant for that, but I have this problem where I tape off in small sections instead of one continuous piece. So the magic is, as much as you can get one continuous piece, the cleaner and less likely to bleed. You know how if you do those like tiny little sections, then Eric knows. I watched him tape on stream.
Well,
super excited.
I have found, like, if you want some advice for taping,
one
I only use Tamiya tape. It's a yellow tape. make sure it's the Tamiya brand and not some other off-brand that's yellow, because
it just feels like throwing money in the trash, though, because we throw it away. And it makes me sad.
I agree. But once, because I used to have very similar problems,
Yeah.
But once and based on Volpenprop's recommendation, he kind of knows his stuff.
Harrison's pretty good. Can't deny it.
Switched it to Maya tapes. I have 5 or 6 different thicknesses of it. The thinnest you can get is 2 millimeter, I think. It's pretty thin. Maybe I'm thinner than that. Maybe it's an 1/8 inch or something. But if you have long curved pieces with the really thin stuff, you can tape pretty much continuously, unless it's a super tight radius. You can pretty much tape anything curved with the really thin stuff, and then you go back over it and tape the sections over the edges of that. So your sections are on the second taping, which is backing up the first taping, instead of on the line that you're trying to tape off. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Yeah, that does make sense. That's where my problems occur.
It adds more time, and yes, it's tedious, and yes, it takes a lot of tape. But you'll get long continuous seams, or no seams, long continuous runs that way. The other thing I do is I usually take a silicone tip brush, like a small one, and then I'll make sure that the edge of the tape, where the tape that the paint's going to be on, that I rub that down really well. Because your finger, you can't.
I did that. I got a silicone
just
tip.
to make sure it doesn't damage the tape or your prop or whatever you're painting, and then. Go over that edge line, and that will make sure that there's no air or any spots where the tape didn't get taped down. And the most critical thing is, don't tape something before it's dry, or you'll get lifting. And once I started practicing that, wait for things to dry fully, use the yellow Tamiya tape. I've had pretty much no problems with it since.
But I'm going to just do that. I have no choice.
Prior to all that, taping was just I hated it. I would avoid it as much as possible. So, and I'm not saying I know how to do it perfectly, but I've had much better success with those few things. So there you go.
Well, I have to do that because the time it's taking me to retape and fix and go back and forth because the spots I messed up, I can't live like this anymore. That's what made me have to take a break. But the creative lulls, a lot of our friends post, I've seen a lot lately, which is interesting. I think it's a little bit of this time of the year. It's summer. People are doing stuff. They're outside. They don't necessarily want to be inside crafting. And they see certain people posting creations, or even people that are German friends or South African friends. I see posting things. I have one South African friend. Sorry, I shouldn't say that. But I see people posting from other parts of the world, and the weather is different there, guys. It's beautiful summer here. Of course, you're probably not wanting to be inside. Don't get that FOMO kind of feel. Take a break off and take some time. I find talking to Lyz or doing this podcast or playing a video game is my thing. If I could stop and play a video game for a day, give myself one day off and don't think about it, or nest. If I just feel the need to decorate my house, clean my house, whatever is just put it out of your mind. You have to do that because I realized when I was going through this recent rut, I hadn't this, and it's a little crazy to think about. I hadn't gone one day without working on 2 consecutive days without working on a costume, except for my break for Katsucon, my break for my birthday. Other than that, I have since.
Oh my gosh!
I worked over the Christmas holiday, in so long that I can't remember. I have worked on costumes every single day. Something, because I have all these projects that are things I want to get done for my own business stuff, and then I get a job, and you don't want to say no, and then you realize that you're a little over your head. So,
and that's that's an easy place to get too.
Yeah, it is. And Lyz, I know that Lyz gets a lot of offers from companies. Obviously, I'm not going to just put you on blast here, but she's a PC kind of squeaky clean, fun, bubbly, energetic personality. And if I were a company, I would want to hire her, and I want to hire anybody else that's like that. I love that. I love Liza Koshy that I watch on YouTube. That anything that's that kind of gal, just a fun, spunky gal. I just love it. Guys do. And Lyz, I know that there's so many opportunities and so many things that come your way that sometimes it's just, for the amount of money and time this would take me, I can't do it. I can't fit it in my life right now and still be able to do your own creative projects. And that's what happens if you take on too many jobs and you're a solo and you're independent. You'll leave all your creative, really stimulating work behind.
Yeah, there has to be a balance. You have to have time to recharge, otherwise you just burn out. I mean, you can't just keep going forever. So.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I've posted about how I didn't wear makeup for like 30 days because I was like, man, I used to be a girl. Like nail polish is gone. Like I feel like a zombie. And I've talked about this on the podcast, but it was nice to put makeup on yesterday. It's nice to put makeup on today. I love makeup. I have a serious makeup problem. I love everything about makeup and skincare, and I just love it. So it's nice to do something else you love and just set it aside. So don't think that you need to go every day, and don't think everybody else is. I mean, even Harrison posted on Twitter yesterday that he wants to take a little step back just for his own things that are going on in his life, and that's okay. Even pros take time off, so don't let that get in the way of being creative. Give yourself a breather.
Have you found
go ahead, Eric.
With Lyz? I was just wondering if have you found it difficult to want to turn things down? I mean, do you ever get things where you're just like, I really want to do this, but you end up turning it down for whatever reason? I mean, is that, or do you feel more compelled, like, I'm just going to take every job that comes my way?
She ain't taking fit tea, that's for sure.
Yeah, I definitely don't take every job that comes my way. I mean, a lot of my jobs are promotional things. So I always take into consideration if it's something that my followers are interested in. If they're not, then I don't do it. I actually did one time that I was like, all right, they're not going to like this, but it was something that, like, I was like, well, I can give it to my mom and she'll like that. But like, I normally take into account, like, what I think people would be interested in. And a lot of times, like, I get contacted by games and things that, like, I'm into and my followers are into, so it works out. But, there's definitely stuff I've turned down, and it's usually just because it's not really a good fit for me, I think.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's why I guess that's why I was wondering if there's, like, like a criteria you have as far as, because you're an independent artist, so, it's like what's kind of like your idea of, what's a good fit for you, and sounds like you take kind of the whole everything into consideration before you're like, I'm going to take that job.
Yeah. So. And there's things in the past that we've talked, like, we'll talk about this every single time that we get on Skype. She's like, I got this job and this job and this job and an offer. And like, she won't take like a crappy makeup brush brand that's like, just wants her to just push this on her, her followers or something. Like, she's not going to just take something just because they're going to give her a certain amount of money if she doesn't believe in the product. Like, she got something weird not that long ago, like a vibrating stick or something that was a back massager. She has some weird offers.
I got this Facebook movie a few times actually about this, like, it's like personal massager review on Amazon, and I'm like, like, come on.
So if I thought back of all the things that she said in the last year, there are some crazy things like that, and so Lyz is selective about what she likes. She doesn't want to, and we talked about that on the social media episode, and a lot of what I talked about there is fueled by my experiences through you, because with Lyz has shown me a lot of what the more professional promo side of the costume and maker world is, and the cosplay world really. And there is this art in being selective, because you do have to make a living. It is your job, and people, even though, you do need to make some kind of living, people will still come for you sometimes if they're like, hashtag ad, just like Jenna Marbles, makes a lot of jokes about that, about people, coming for them with the ads, and it is the way it is. But if you like the content and it's enjoyable to you, maybe just take a breather and realize, like, this person has to pay for the turtle food and the tortoise food and the dog food. There's a lot of animals in that house.
And I mean, I'm lucky that, most of my followers, they support me, and they see me promoting something or whatever, and they're like, yeah, girl, get it. That's like part of my job. I mean, I have had people that are just like, oh, I have ad block for a reason. I hate this ad. Like, well, I mean, bro, come on. Like, this is like a way I support myself. I feel like if you like me as a content creator, like, don't just look at an ad every once in a while. I don't feel like I'm spamming people with them. So
no, I don't think you do either. And I feel like what you give back to the community in tutorials and things like that, it makes up. So it's like, I'm giving you a little something. Let me have a little turtle food.
Berlin's got to eat.
Yeah, he's got to eat, dude. He's got an interior crocodile decorated Chevrolet or something. I don't even know what that is. Okay, so something else about Lyz, which is really funny, that Eric, I said to you last week, and you're like, wow, this is interesting. Lyz does my hair, and Lyz went to hair school. She has a PhD in awesome hair. And I think it's really funny that that's something else you guys might not know about Lyz, is that not only is she model and has been in music videos and just super awesome, she went to school for hair. So where did that fit in the spectrum of all of this? When did you go to hair school, and why did you decide not to pursue that? She graduated.
I did. I'm licensed in the state of California as a cosmetologist, and
which takes more hours than being a cop in California, which is crazy.
Yeah.
That's true in most states, actually. So anyway.
Oh, okay. So she won't mess up your hair. Don't worry.
Okay, so I went to cosmetology school right out of high school, and it was like my parents, I don't know, like they were a little like out of touch with just creative jobs and things like that. So my parents were like, well, you're an artist and you like this creative stuff. How can you apply that in the real world? You could do hair. And I was like, all right. I didn't really, I never thought about going to art school and, getting into the game industry or anything like that. Like those things were just kind of not, I wasn't aware of those. I wasn't aware that I could, go learn how to sculpt in 3D and make video game models and stuff. Like, I didn't know that. So I kind of just was like, okay, I guess I'll do hair. So I went to cosmetology school and I finished it and I got my license and I worked in a salon for about 6 months. And then I was just like, all right, this isn't for me. And I keep my license up because I just feel like it's a good thing to have. And, I went to school for all those hours. Like, I'm going to keep my license up. So
yeah, and you get a discount on beauty products if you have a license too.
Yeah, real talk. That's why I keep the license.
Yeah, Lyz, every time I come, we go to the beauty store and buy stuff for the license.
You are overdue for a visit.
Oh yeah, I am overdue. Although I sent Lyz a lot of you guys that follow, I posted something about changing my hair color, and I just found someone on Instagram that has my exact hairstyle like it is now, even washed out. I sent it to you on Instagram. I was like, what the heck? This girl's trying to get this faded do. It's surprisingly, I still like the way it looks, which is unlike any other color I've had. Of the colors in the past that have faded, I hate it. When purple fades and red fade, punch me in the face. Like, tell me I need to get, I look crazy. I look like maybe I'm going to wait on the street corner for some drugs or something. Like, I look a little, methed out or whatever. Sorry, that's a little harsh, but that's how crazy I feel. And I like my hair to reflect my insides. And the blue has faded beautifully. And I'm really happy about that. Yeah, I like the pastel. I really enjoy it, and I don't mind it. I have dark roots, like really dark roots, and I don't mind that the way it looks. It's cool. But Lyz and I have gone on this hair journey together. I have a hairstylist here that I love, and she's wonderful. But in California, Lyz has this like all these stores nearby. We can go buy things, and Lyz and I discovered this Olaplex stuff, which I actually get so many questions about my hair. That's one of the things. You get questions about your voice. I get questions about my hair. And Eric gets questions about that beautiful red little buzz on the top, don't you, buddy?
No, I get questions about my freckles. So.
Oh, you do? Well, you really get questions about your.
I don't know if you've ever seen my. I have like. I'm a leopard boy, so. I like
freckles. I like freckles as long as they're not from sun damage.
What do people ask about freckles? What could you possibly want to know about them?
Usually it's not a question. Usually it's, wow, you have a lot of freckles. There you go. Or I'm sure you. I
like freckles.
I'm sure you get, wow, you have a high voice. It's like people. People like to tell you the thing that you already know about yourself. Like my youngest daughter, Emily, has beautiful red long hair, and it's all the way down past her waistline, right? And they're like, wow, you have red hair.
It's like, wow, you're very perceptive.
Yeah. I had no idea.
Yeah, it's Lyz has a she's really good with hair, so that's something that I have loved in this friendship. I'm a moocher of the hairstyling skills, but I wish I had some natural red hair. I would kill for that. Your daughter said, like, I'm wanting to go back red now, so a real natural red, though, is like you have to have the whole red package, If you're going for that natural, like brassy, bronzy red, and you don't have like the rest of the redhead kind of going on, it I don't know, it's not as good. The neon red works on me.
Well, the difference is people can tell you're not 100% authentic ginger is the thing. So
yeah, of course,
it's like sure. It's like you maybe hit like 75%, but they know there's 25% that just isn't really ginger. So
people pick up on that pretty quick. My dad's back has like black and gray and red hair. He's got a variety of hair on his different colors on his back. I'm sorry, Dad. Yeah, I remember when I was a little kid, the red would come out at the top of his t-shirt, and I was like, dang, that's red. But he didn't have hair. It's fun. And he like pulled it up and showed me. He's like, oh, it's all kinds of colors. I was like, ooh, Dad, it's so cool. Now it's like, oh, okay. That just came out. I'm so sorry, Dad.
So I'm gonna steer the conversation back to cosplay just a little bit because there is one thing I wanted to talk about with Lyz that I've been kind of dying to talk to her about. Well, not really dying, but there's just one thing that it's like really sticks out to me. And because I've been following you for quite a while and have known you through Jackie a little bit. We've met in person and all that. But
Eric, you're the one that hooked Lyz up with Smooth On, the original connection. Remember that?
Oh, yeah, I know.
Oh, yeah.
I know. Yeah.
So, go ahead.
You're welcome.
just cute memories. Just, anyway, we've come full circle as friends.
But I say right around the time that I really started following Lyz's page and seeing. I mean, I remember seeing you as Jinx, I think. I think that was like maybe the first time I ever saw your cosplay was maybe like on Titans of Cosplay or something, one of the Facebook pages. I was like, wow, this is amazing, and finding your page and everything. And it seems like not that long after that, you did Nova. And the photo of you with the blaster or with her rifle falling backwards and, the great Photoshop manipulation on there. And that's
by
really
Beatty photography.
Who was the photographer on that?
Beatty photography.
Okay, Beatty, yeah. And is that a guy or a girl?
It's he.
It's he. Okay, yeah. He, great photographer. I've seen many.
Yeah.
But that photo went everywhere. I saw that. Yeah. I saw that. Like, I mean, is that maybe one of the most like maybe viral images of your costumes? Do you think? Or
that one, and I think the one I think by far that has been.
Can I say it before you do?
Yeah, go for it.
Thief.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
My Thief,
yeah.
I have it pinned from Pinterest. If you go to my cosplay board, it's one of the very first pins, like 2 years before or a year and a half before I met Lyz. Like that's how long I've had it pinned because it was so cool.
People have sent me like all kind like. People have tattoos of that photo. Like, it's really crazy. And it's not because they're like, oh, I'm #1 Lyz Brickley fan. It's just because they like the photo, like the costume.
What is the character again? Because I don't know if I've probably seen it. I just don't know.
You have, but I didn't recognize it at first.
It's a gender bend of this character called Garrett from this game called Thief, and it's an old PC game from like I think the first one was 96 or 98, and then they made a remake in I think 2014 is when it came out. So I did like a female version of it in 2013 because I'm a fan of the old games. I was excited about the new games, and I don't know. I thought it was cool. I liked the way it looked, and I can't believe that's been everywhere. People like someone recently sent me a picture of their friend and they're like, hey, do you recognize something? And he I think it's in Mexico and it's a mural on a wall that somebody painted that on. And I was just like blown away. Like, I can't believe it. You know, you
have some really cool fan art though. I have to say, like, you've had some of the fan art I've seen, like the picture of you and Sean that was sent to you. Like, gosh, man, there's some really talented artists.
There really are. Like, that's the most flattering thing ever is to have someone like draw a picture of you or your costume. It's like it's a feeling like no other. You know, it's like this talented artist take time out of their day because they like my art. You know, to draw a picture of me. And
okay, so while you guys were talking, I just Googled it. I have seen that image before, and I had no idea it was you.
Me either. I couldn't believe it. Like, it's so funny. I remember when I first met her, I'm pretty sure within like maybe that day I met you, I showed you like on my Pinterest all the way at the bottom because I was like, dude, this is so crazy. What a weird world.
So I have seen that. I had no clue it was you. That's awesome. That's really cool.
Yeah. I've had that reaction is pretty common. Like, people be like, wow, I had no idea. Like, I've seen this picture. And I think it's because it's like, it's got this cool anonymity to it. Like, it's got this half face mask, so it's just my eyes. I think that's why it appeals to so many people is because it's just kind of like this ambiguous thing where it's not of a person or a character. Really, it can be taken a lot of different ways. Like, I've had people that are like, oh, that's cool.
But it's such a well-done image. I mean, it looks like it could be like official art from the game or whatever, too. So
who took the photo?
That going for it.
Zaman Darshell did.
Oh, Zaman Darshell.
Oh, okay. But the Nova one was. Were you surprised at the reaction of that? Because it seems like everybody was like, "How did you do this photo?" Because
Yeah.
And then when it was revealed that you were like leaning back on a chair, it was just like, "Oh, that's brilliant," And it's like the wonder of Photoshop. So.
That was fun because we got to. Honestly, my favorite part about that one was like that Sean, my husband, was involved, and he's like in the unphotoshopped image, I'm leaning back on a chair, and he's like holding my back and flipping my hair, and like the hair flick thing was like kind of a part of it because his face, he's like so concentrated on the flick, he's like biting his lip and flicking the hair, and that was fun to be able to be like, well, this is how we did it, and see people's reaction to that.
Well, and oddly enough, I saw like after that video, like this is like I guess this was November before I met you in February. So like I'd seen a lot of that photograph going crazy, and a lot of other people were
using
starting
the same
to
technique.
Yes. Oh, dude,
I was going to say the same thing.
Yeah, I was like, wow, look, all these other people saw that this is how you did that, because most people thought it was Photoshop. So when Beatty like revealed like this is the step by step, I feel like people were just like, what?
Yeah.
Like, I can remove people and just have them like all up in the photo. It doesn't even matter. Like they love that.
Yeah, it's that cool practical effects thing, which I really like.
Yeah, Lyz is definitely one for practical effects. And I will say I have had the pleasure of having my cape flipped by Mr. Brickley, so I definitely go with that. And the funny thing is, in February of that year, Alexandra Lee, who did my Braveheart lion that I love, and your Care Bear character too, she did a cape flip for me as well. And she did one on my King Varian the year before. So it's so she was feeling that vibe the year before the Nova thing came out, but Beatty made that practical effect thing, big. And I feel like that a lot of people struggle with how to effectively or edit something that looks like it could come from like the genre, the world that it's from, but not go nuts with a composite so much that it takes away from the central focus. And I know Beatty has, like, Lyz edits a lot of her own photos, which you'll appreciate this, Eric, because you have a digital art background. She has, I think Beatty's kind of like given you like a crash course over the last year probably on how to edit. And so you've done a lot of your own editing, and you bought a fog machine so that you have practical effects, and you take a generator and a fog machine to like out in the field.
Beatty's taught me. He's taught me everything I know about Photoshop, and it's been so much fun learning. I love editing. Like I want to edit a photo for Jackie.
Oh yeah. Well, she my Varian that was on TV, she edited that, and my Ganon that was on TV, she edited that, and like they're my favorite photos. And so my I can't wait for her to do my what's this character? What is this character that I'm doing, guys? Does anybody know what this is called? Oh, Farrah.
Farrah. Yeah.
I'm in a zombie mode, but yeah. Do you edit all of your own, Eric? Does your wife like take your photos? I've never asked you this. Or are they always taken by another friend?
The majority. Let's see. Most of the photos that we do, my wife takes them. So because she's more into like close up landscape, kind of photography, but she's pretty good at cosplay photography. She's not really comfortable with portrait work. So, but the stuff that she does for us is always really good. And she always has a ton of people ask her, hey, can you do photo shoots and blah, 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 blah. And she doesn't really want to pursue that much. But for us, it's great because when we go to a con as a family or whatever, we always have a photographer with us that can take professional enough photos,
Yeah.
So we're never at a loss for like trying to scramble to find like one photo of somebody, from the con. So that's been amazing, and she's amazing that way, that she's willing to do it, even though it's not like her specialty for photography. So we kind of have a staff photographer, which is really handy.
Once you get those skills to edit, like what Beatty gave you, it's amazing how much freedom that gives you, because you don't control the editing that you get from someone else's photo, and you can only give someone so much critique, and that's a very touchy area that you don't really want to just over criticize a photographer's photo. And so, Lyz, I know that you very much. You enjoy having Sean take the photos for you and edit them. And Sean has learned how to man the camera like your wife, which is crazy. And he's been a pretty speedy learner. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he likes it, I think.
Yeah, he does. We have a lot of fun going out and doing shoots together because we shoot with natural light. And so we do most, I think all of our stuff, maybe a couple exceptions, have been outdoors. So we go find a cool location and kind of come up with a concept, and I have so much fun doing that. It's been really great. And it's cool having like the full creative control for the shoot too, because I can get exactly what I imagine.
Yeah. And the natural light, that's something that you taught me that through Beefy. I saw that picture he did of Jess where it's like completely dark in like a hotel room, and then all of a sudden it's this highly edited, beautiful photo, which was crazy. The before and afters of things blow my mind. And Liz's before and afters, they blow my mind too. It's crazy. Like she fixes so many things. And it's a lot of people think to do your own photos, you need a light setup, maybe a backdrop. You need all these perfect things. And you have really opened my eyes to how much you just don't need any of that, and how much you can do with a raw photo, like the actual raw photo, not like a JPEG, but like how much you can change.
Yeah.
So it's definitely something that a lot of people are confused about. They don't realize that you don't need that whole expensive setup.
Yeah, we shoot with I bought a used Canon Rebel on eBay, which I think was like $150, and then the lens I bought new. We have a 50mm lens that I paid $150 for, so $300 we have a setup that we go shoot outside in natural lighting, and I think that does the job.
I got a Rebel for sale if anybody wants one. But not my 50.
Yeah, the reality is with natural lighting and, like you said, a very inexpensive, more pro type setup, you can get good images. So
it's all about like the editing is magic. Like that is an art.
Even without much editing too, you can get pretty good images. So but if you do learn the editing side of it, you can really you can make a picture that's like pretty good look like really good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
the thing that Liz taught me with the photo, yes, you can, the camera and the lens, you're right. That's enough. You can take a beautiful photo, especially if you have all your right settings. Like it took me a little while, and I read a few guides about making my settings perfect for my teeth, because my first video I filmed with it, my teeth and eyes were yellow. They were not as bright white as they are in person. And it's because I didn't adjust my white balance correctly. And so I read up on that, and now it's perfect. But, and you have to be careful not to wash yourself out, which is another problem. But Liz showed me so a good photo, great camera can take a good photo and you don't need any editing skills. But like if your wig is going crazy, that's where those editing skills. Yeah. Like I always have a crazy wig, and I know Liz always has a crazy wig because it's so windy where she is, and so you never know she has these crazy wigs because she cleans it up.
Yeah, that's something with my editing. I don't like to over edit. I like to retouch and then kind of clean up, and then but the photo is like the kind of slightly rough version of what I want, and then I just like kind of smooth out the edges.
I'd say you're very against the over editing.
More touch-up and cleanups kind of stuff,
Yeah.
She doesn't like to blur out her nose or blur out her pores. That's one thing that she's like, don't get rid of all those pores, because I'm just like smooth, cool.
Yeah.
Like smudge. She's like, your pores are gone. You look like a porcelain doll.
And Ben Beefy, he calls that stone skin.
So you never
stone skin.
Yeah, and so I like that you keep it like, it is how, if someone meets you in person, they're going to get that. I mean, unless you're having a bad day, everybody has a bad day, y'all. If you get a facial and you've met her the day she just got a facial and she's shedding like a snake, like, that's not fair. But on a normal day, like the way that you were for the League of Legends event, when I did your makeup as Jinx, you took a selfie and like unfiltered selfie, and like you looked gorgeous in person, gorgeous in the selfie. It was the exact same translation. So don't feel like, like it's okay to put an unedited version of yourself out there. It doesn't matter. You don't need to be highly edited all the time because people are going to see you in person. So if you, don't just don't be heavy-handed with the editing unless you're going for a edited look, like highly stylized sci-fi composite. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother. That's a whole nother
that
thing,
is a whole nother.
Because there are, because I'm not really into like super heavy editing, but there are some artists out there that do like really elaborate like composite work, and it's like it's obviously meant to look not natural,
it's like digital art.
And that's awesome because exactly what they're going for.
Like Alexandra Lee, like I'm obsessed with her style, and it is not lightly done. Like she does, she did my eye color and she does the background. It looks like a battle scene, and I like that. But she also does wedding stuff that is not highly edited and isn't stone skin. It's more natural and polished. So she does both spectrums, and I enjoy that. I like to mix it up. So
Liz, do you prefer to be behind the camera or in front of the camera, or do you?
I like a mix of both.
Yeah.
I haven't done as much photography as I would like to, just because of time. Yeah. But I mean, there's stuff I see that I feel really inspired by. There's actually a cosplayer I found on Instagram that has this amazing Dark Souls cosplay, and we're planning on shooting. When I can, probably when I get back from Australia. Yeah. Yeah. And we've never met in person, but I saw his cosplay and I was just like, my gosh.
Do you know his username offhand?
Yeah, let me grab it really quick because I don't know off the top of my head, but
I wish you would do more photography. I mean, when we went to Katsucon and Liz shot all my costumes, that was incredible to have, my Ganon. I was so happy to see that because I didn't have any really, a lot of us wear a costume and then we get haul shots. And that's, we're infamous for that. We all get haul shots.
That's such a shame, I think.
Yeah.
You create these beautiful works of art, they should be showcased in a same way, So his name is Sour Cosplay, and it's SAUER Cosplay. And he's just this cosplayer.
It's awesome.
That's kind of local to me, and oh my gosh, he has a mirror picture of this cosplay that's just mind-blowingly good.
Awesome.
And I'm just I need to take a photo of that.
You're I need to shoot that. That's cool. That's cool that you have plans to branch out and do some photography work too.
Yeah. I like to do it when I can. But and I guess I also like to be in front of the camera also.
Yeah, well, you do videos and stuff, so you gotta like it a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like I gotta get that weird out somehow.
Yeah, and you're not always edited. Obviously, the photos, you like to take a photo and edit it, but the videos are also edited. But back in the day, you were very unedited. You streamed, and you had a couple hundred people watching you play Diablo back in the day. You had a pretty decent stream, and you had a decent stream. You had a great stream. It was funny. I've watched a lot of your stream. You can watch a lot of her stuff on her YouTube. That's her old stream stuff. Yeah. And you're very funny, and it's a lot more insight into your real life. Obviously, she's evolved. You could tell. I knowing you, knowing how you are now, you were a little bit more nervous back then, but you were still very much yourself. You were goofy and funny. But this one video, she used to do a lot of pranky kind of stuff and silly things, and you called the movie theater. And you asked what was playing, and you asked the man to tell you, and he said Mad Max Fury Road, and you decided it was Furry Road, and you asked him to attend with you. Do you remember this prank phone call?
Yes, I do.
So I was like, oh, look at Liz misbehaving. You had some fun little, your stream days were sassy.
Oh, man. My stream days were I feel through the early days of Twitch and streaming is kind of who I became. I became my internet self through that. Because I had a really great group of people who watched my stream, and we became this really tight-knit little community. We had all these inside jokes. I mean, we would they would Photoshop pictures for me of my dogs, and we have a Facebook group where everything gets posted, and it's just this most absurd stuff, but it was so much fun. And the prank call was actually one of the guys that was a regular viewer. We called his work. It was Robot. This guy he went by Robot Crash on Twitch, and we called.
I know him.
We called his work, and he answered, and we just sort of prank called.
Oh, that was him
stream.
On the phone.
Yeah.
You called one of your followers. So funny. That's even funnier. But you are right. You have. I watch a lot of Twitch, and your community was wonderful. Your tight knit community that were the people from back in the day. I really enjoyed them, and we went out to eat with one of them in Boston. And I don't know, they're just fun, and it was a great community. You definitely you had something going there, but you've pulled away from Twitch. You used to do it a lot. You were a pretty consistent streamer. So why? What made you pull away from streaming, or is it just really just time?
It's time is a huge factor, and I mean, honestly, like I feel like I sound like such a hipster when I say this, but Twitch has changed so much in like the years that like I started streaming. I think in 2012 was my first stream, and so I mean, gosh, 5 years. Like so much has changed, and the community has really grown a lot, and it's a lot different. Like I feel like I don't know. I started doing creative streaming, and then that was like a whole different audience than the gaming streams, and it had like a whole different feel to it, and I liked it, but it's just I think I like making videos more, so I you know kind of got more into that, and it's like if I never had to sleep, then I would definitely still stream, but you know girls gotta sleep sometimes, so I think time is probably the biggest factor, so I have to kind of pick and choose what I spend my time on.
That makes sense. You can't do it all.
Yeah, and I still stream occasionally, like.
Yeah, you do, and it's funny.
And I'll just kind of like put in the Facebook group, hey guys, I'm gonna jump on if you're around, like come in, and then we'll kind of do like a little catch up stream, or I'll play Overwatch or whatever, and kind of just chat with everybody, and that's fun. Yeah,
or Player Underground, or what is it? Is that what it's called?
Player Unknown Battleground.
Unknown Battleground. There
PUBG.
You go. Yeah, I enjoy that. That's fun. Like the stealing of the car and leaving you behind and stuff. Like that's such a funny game. It's like I like that kind of stuff. Interesting.
Well.
So what kind of new cosplays are you working on? What's your plan for this year? Yeah, Lyz. What are your plans for this year?
What was Eric gonna say?
Oh no, I was just.
He was gonna ask questions like that, I think.
No, I was gonna say we're kind of getting close to about the visual length for an interview episode.
Oh, so. Jackie knows she's just avoiding. She's like, no.
I'm always the voice. I'm always the voice of.
Toys R Us.
Yeah, I'm always the guy that has to put down the hammer. But we'll let Lyz. I mean, we can go a little longer. We can, Lyz is a pretty special person to us. So we'll let her go. We'll let her go a little longer, and she'll be like the longest episode we've ever done so far. So
I feel like there's a lot that people don't know about you, and I think that it's interesting. Like that we've covered so much about your background, and like everybody, a lot of your fans know you speak German, know your family's from Germany. They maybe don't know your Oma wears like straight up Elvis Presley, Dolly Parton Friends jackets, like. But and
who
she's
does?
a German lady.
My Oma, my grandmother. She's a very eclectic lady.
That's badass.
She embraced America.
I want to meet her. That's amazing.
She loves Elvis. She's like #1 Elvis fan.
Yeah.
And she used to drive a purple PT Cruiser with flames on the front and all leopard interior.
And she has well done old lady hair. Like she's cute.
I want to see you do Elvis in one of your videos.
Oh my gosh, yes. I could get down with that.
She would love
I want to see a Lyz Elvis.
You could borrow one of her jackets.
Yeah, I totally could. She watches my videos. She has Facebook. I got her all set up on Facebook, and she loves it.
I can totally see you with sideburns. I mean, really. That has to happen.
I'll try to incorporate it one day.
I like that.
My Oma would just love that so much.
Yeah, she would. So would my dad. He loves Elvis. That's so funny.
That's amazing.
And I could use more videos speaking in all German. I don't know if you saw that one, Eric, but the videos she spoke in all German, I really enjoyed that.
I saw that.
I should do more because I need to practice. My German is like really rusty.
Yeah, I meant when we had Kamui on, I told her about the app that I have and how I'm stuck at a point where I can't get past it because you have to pronounce it right in order to move on to the next stage.
Yeah.
And I can't say auf Wiedersehen or something. It's like a hello or something, or
that means goodbye.
Goodbye, yeah. It's the world's longest word.
I'll see you later type.
And I'm like, dude, what? It won't let me through, and it's ridiculous. So mean.
So a couple of days. You guys know Chad, right? From Hoku Props. Do you know Chad?
Yeah.
Okay. So did you know he was over at Binion Svetlana's just?
Yeah, I saw the picture.
Yeah. So he was streaming on Twitch, and for like 45 minutes, people that knew German were typing in things for him to pronounce badly.
Oh no!
and then to see if Benny and Svetlana could understand what he's trying to say, and it actually was quite amusing.
Yeah, that sounds really fun.
Yeah,
I want to watch. Is it up somewhere? Where is that? I want.
It would be on Hoku's.
Past broadcast?
It'd be on his past broadcast if he has it set to say, because all the broadcasts aren't automatically saved. I'm assuming he has past broadcast to save. I've never tried to go find.
I'm gonna look and see. That's so funny because
anyway,
it can be hard.
It was pretty entertaining. So there, because like with German, like there's a type of words that you can stack them all together, like one word. Is that verbs or nouns or something? I can't remember.
It's just in certain words they just kind of put a bunch together to mean something. So it's
and it's still grammatically correct, even though it has like 56 letters or something. Crazy.
Yeah,
it's crazy to me. Oh my gosh!
And Chad's just like trying really hard, and Benny's just like blah 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 blah, and he's like, man.
Oh my gosh!
Anyway,
Liz.
Side note.
She definitely should do some more videos with that. Though. Sean can speak a little bit, can he?
More funny German stuff.
Very little bit.
Very little.
Like a couple words. Like yeah. Anyways, tell me what your new cosplays are for the year. Let's round off this interview with all the things that you have planned for this year. What are your goals? You're such a busy lady. I know you've got a couple projects you can't talk about that you might be doing, but she just did a little documentary thing that she filmed yesterday, or when this airs, it'll be whenever, and this is in the future. And she had people come into her house and film her.
What's the documentary thing about?
So there's this Facebook page called 60-Second Documentaries, and they do these short little documentaries for people like me with very short attention spans about everything. Like they did a documentary about a lady who makes clothing, like sweaters and stuff, out of dog hair. She spins it on a spindle and then weaves, knits it into something like a sweater or whatever. And I thought it was the craziest thing, but I kind of love it, and I kind of want like a jelly bean sweater. But they do all kinds of stuff, and they contacted me a couple months ago, and they've been, we had to work out a time that we were both free, and they wanted to do one about cosplay, so they came to my house yesterday, and we filmed like a little thing. Cool. Little ditty.
Cool.
So that's exciting. I'm excited to see that myself.
Is their page just called 60-Second something?
60-Second Documentaries. And hopefully my episode should be out in like about a month probably, and hopefully I'm not like the cringiest person on planet Earth.
I'm sure it's going to be terrible. So
I'm gonna be just awkward, and everyone's gonna be like, because the thing is, like, it's introducing cosplay to the kind of people who'd never heard of it and stuff.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's a hard
thing. But I think you'll be a great ambassador for that. So
I hope so. I hope I'm not.
We have faith in you, Lyz Brickley.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
I'm not good at introducing cosplay to people. Like, I don't know, man. I just can't explain it very well. I find myself like, I don't know.
No, I think you would do great. You would be perfect. You're a very likable person.
I would talk so much that I'd probably pass out. I have to take a breath in between. So I do that a lot. Like,
sometimes I do get concerned with you, Jackie. Sometimes I'm just like, hey, Deb, stop that!
If I'd ever passed out. Wow. No.
Jackie, the thing about Jackie, if you don't know, like what we say is she at all times has lethal levels of caffeine in her body. Yeah. So she's heavily caffeinated, and she can just go. So she has so much energy. I don't know where you get it. I'm so jealous, and I wish I could like siphon a little bit from you, because I'm always like tired.
I'm glad I'm not the only one that feels that way.
Kombucha though, and she when she has her afternoon kombucha, she spices up. She comes alive at like 1 a.m. too. Oh. Like 1 a.m. She's crazy. Like when I start to wind down, she's like,
"Why are we filming this now? We should have done it at 1 a.m." I mean,
she would be.
I want the real Lyz Brickley. The real. I mean,
she's pretty hyped right now. It's a good Lyz Brickley. I enjoy the kombucha. She's so little, a little bit of coffee goes a long way too. Because we went to get Vietnamese coffee, and she had like a half of hers, and I was like, "Can I have the rest?" I had all of mine, and I was like, "Can I have the rest of yours?" She's like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna finish it." And I was like, "Yeah."
It's really strong too. It's good stuff.
Oh, it was so good.
Yeah,
it was right before we went to Blizzard, I think, or I don't know. That was Jack.
Me too. We were in the parking lot. Jackie's like trying to get into her costume, and I was like dancing on the car, and she was like, "Get over here!"
What are you doing? It's like her and Sean. They're like teenagers. Like dancing like grease on the car, and I'm like, "Hello."
That's too funny.
That was a lot of fun. It was really cool getting.
Are you doing anything for Blizzcon this year?
Yeah, I think we have a secret thing that maybe I can't talk about, but definitely doing a cosplay.
Awesome.
I'm either depending on the circumstance, I'm either going to do Nutcracker Zenyatta, which I love that skin. It's a little nutcracker. If you don't know, it's my favorite. It's so weird and cute.
Yeah.
Or Valkyrie Mercy. So one of those two.
If she has to show her face, then she'll do the Valkyrie.
Yeah, that's just my face.
Gotcha. My daughter wants Valkyrie Mercy really bad. Really bad.
She wants
really?
What's that?
That's awesome.
Yeah, my youngest, she wants to do that one really bad.
It's such a pretty skin. I love it.
Yeah.
My friend Sarah just finished one for her daughter, and she made a tutorial of it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw that if you guys follow her around. But it's I don't want to give her like last name and information out because it is her daughter and it's on social media. But those of you that are friends with her, it's such an amazing.
Her page is so is it like Celeste or something, or I can't remember how you pronounce it.
I don't know. I butcher everyone's names.
Yeah, I know.
I'm terrible at that. I always feel bad.
Or it's like Celeste, or it's like Celeste,
like something she posted
something.
on content. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's it's such good quality. It's incredible. I mean, she's really talented anyway. She did like the it's like the wizard from Here's the Storm. Why can't I think of the character's name? Ming. Thank you. Yeah. I keep wanting to. I just anything that's like that. I just add a bunch of syllables to it.
She streams quite a bit too. She streams quite a bit too.
Oh, she does? Yeah. Oh, yeah, I've caught her stream before in the past, but I miss everybody. Man, it's sucky. Like, I just now got a notification Volpin Props went live, and I wake up every morning, and it's like SKS Props gone live.
Yeah.
Like, I always miss him. I don't understand. Steve! And
his stream's really good, too. He has a great voice for streaming.
He has a beautiful voice. I love his voice. And I've listened to, I've caught him a few when he comes back, but I have so many people on notifications that when I wake up, there's like a bunch, or if I'm in the shop and I come back and check my phone in the afternoon, mainly because I cracked my phone and I couldn't really use it. Can't use it with gloves. It was shredded. It would shred my glove. I got glass in my thumb from it. And I got it fixed.
That's dangerous. That's very dangerous.
My new case isn't here yet, my drop case. So I'm without my phone a lot. So I missed the streams. I missed the notification. And I don't have a desktop notification. So I need to see if they have one. Like, you know how some things that are annoying, like Twitter, will pop up in the bottom right. So-and-so liked your post.
Yeah.
You know what? If you have, and mileage may vary because it might vary by whatever, but if you have, I've noticed they have added notifications to Twitch like in the web browser. So if you have like a stream up, you'll get a pop-up notification when other people in the web browser. And I think that's fairly
maybe
new.
The Twitch app might too.
I think that's fairly new to their new because they just redid their website too. So hey Liz, is there anybody that you like to follow or watch stream or anybody, or are you just too busy? Are you too busy?
That tiny little cute boy you used to watch.
Are you too busy? That got a smile out of me.
Wow. So I love Criparian. Like he's like I've been watching him for years. Like I started watching Crip when he plays Hearthstone mainly now, but he used to play this game that I was really into called Path of Exile. And
famously World of Warcraft.
Yeah, well, so he was in, what was his, Exodus?
Exodus. Why did I almost say Blood Legion? That's Alan. Exodus, yeah. He was awesome.
Yeah, he was in Exodus, and then he had like Hunter videos that he made on YouTube, and he was really well known for, but I never watched those. I never saw them. Yeah. But I started following him through Path of Exile, and now he plays Hearthstone, and I just really enjoy him. Like, he's a very mellow guy. He doesn't have any, like, donation notifications that are popping up, and he's not yelling, and which is, if that's what you do on your stream, like, that's fine. I can get down with that. But like, Crip is just a nice, you put him on and you just can relax, and
it's more mellow.
He looks a lot like Kyle to me, oddly enough.
So I really like
Crip though, didn't you?
A couple of times, yeah, and he's like 7 feet tall. Like, he's very intimidating person.
Is he the one that you gave salt to?
No, that was Raynad.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Raynad's another.
Liz snarky. She gave a gamer that, like, she's funny. I love these things about you. People should know, like, Liz is bold. She went to this party. Was it the Arcade party?
No, I got the salt. Okay, so I went to this Arcade party. They had a little goodie bag, and it was like intro to PvP in Arcade. And it was like they gave you a little tissue pack and salt shaker because you get salty when you play. So then we went to the Twitch party, and there's this other Hearthstone streamer called Raynad who is like well known on Twitch for being salty. So I gave him the salt, but it comes in a little drawstring bag, and we gave it to him as we walked by, me and Sean. We look back at him as he opened it, and he's kind of like, what's this, And he pulls it out, and he sees the salt, and he laughed, he got the joke.
I love that.
Nice.
Liz she has funny interactions, like because of all the fun opportunities that she gets to do. She runs into these people that she likes, and I love these interactions. Like we met Reckful at the League of Legends party, and like that was super fun. The League of Legends event thing he did.
Sweet. He was really nice. And I'm glad that we got to meet him. Actually, he was wearing like a shirt that was his own shirt, I guess, and I asked him if it was a Crip shirt, and I didn't know who he was at first because I was in cosplay. So he was like, "Can I get a picture with you?" Because I was like dressed up, and I was like, "Yeah, sure." And then I was like, "Oh, I like your shirt. Is that a Crip shirt?" Because they all sell these like T Fury type streaming. There are on the shirt, and then he was like, "No, this is my shirt. I'm Rickful." And I was like, "Oh my gosh!" Like it's weird because like the first time I met Crip, they actually were playing each other on stage at Blizzcon. It was the two of them, and I remember like he beat Crip, and then I went and met him for the first time. And like it's really dorky memory, but
that's too funny. But now it's a great story, right? Because
it's awesome.
So we're way past that longest episode ever. So,
I know. Yeah.
But I do have one. I do have one final question for you. This is the one that's been just burning since I knew you were going to be on.
Oh my gosh! What?
Are you ready?
Okay. Yeah, I'm ready.
I have to know. Did you have to professionally learn to noodle dance, or is that something? Or is that something? I mean, is that something you went to school for, or is it just something that you just kind of like, hey, noodle dance might be my thing. I have to know. Okay,
I have no professional training. It's just something I was kind of born with. So like, if you've like seen me, I'm like a very like lanky, noodly person. So it's no skill involved really. You just put on a song and you flail, and it just sort of happens.
I'm speechless. I'm speechless because noodle dancing to me is just like it's like that. That's where it's at. I mean,
you can throw your back out, like you got to have those special kind of rubber bones. Like you need to stretch really well before you noodle. I know because I've noodled and it.
Have you noodled?
Yeah, we used to noodle on Skype together.
Oh, really? Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, we'd have like it's like a shake it out break. Like that's kind of where it started. It's like we would hang out and like we'd have like a shake it out and we'd get up and be like stand up and just noodle to like exercise and get it out.
That is the noodle dance was born through like crafting Pit of Despair, and you're like stiff and you're just like
you mean the Pit of Despair.
And that video that she made with all of her noodling, like that
video kills me. I love that video. It's awesome because
like we went to Blizzard, she noodled at Blizzard. She dropped me off at the airport at 5 a.m. She noodled at the airport. Like all these experiences, all these places that she went, she noodled. And did you noodle in Niagara Falls?
I did.
Yes. Yes, she's in the little parka thingy or the little
they gave you the raincoat poncho for the waterfall because it's very misty.
There's something about your noodle though that's just particularly I don't know what the word. It's just like it's like your body just has no joints or something.
No, it looks like rubber. It reminds me of Gumby a little bit. Like if Gumby would do it.
It's something extra special. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of other noodle dancers out there, but I bet you could beat them all.
Well, Lyz dances a lot, dude. Like the noodle is the signature, like stress, stretch your body out, stress-free kind of dance. But like, she's a big Drake fan. She does a lot of dancing. Like this is funny, and I wish these were public, but like she used to send me like 3-minute long videos dancing to like Justin Bieber. So she danced Justin Bieber. She put on a really cool outfit, and she would do. In the background is Sean playing Overwatch with his headset on. He's not even caring. And then there's Lyz, just me. She's looking at the camera and she does this beautiful interpretive dance. And it is just some of the most interesting. She could have some signature dance moves that like people would do because I've never seen anything like this.
Well,
and it's so fun. I wish that the world could see them because I think there's like 4 or 5 of them.
But when you can noodle dance like her, you don't have to have any signature dance moves. I mean, it's like
awesome.
I mean that completes it all. So.
Well, that's what I love about dancing. I don't really want to learn to choreograph dance and try to do that. I just like I feel like anyone can dance. I just like to move sometimes. I got a lot of I got a lot of energy sometimes that I just gotta move around.
Just gotta work it out.
Yeah.
Gotta work it out.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's amazing. My dogs would be jumping all over me and barking, and like her dogs are so conditioned, they're just like little sloths laying in the background watching. Like they don't even mind that she's just
I think
crazy.
they like it. I think that sometimes I dance for them and they wag their tail.
Yeah. Yeah, I love the dancing. The dance, it's always a bright spot. If you're having a bad day, let's send you a little dance video. It just makes you feel better.
Right. Yeah, and I actually told Liz before we started, I said, sometimes if I'm just in a bad mood, I just watch her noodle dance. And it just lifts my spirits.
So happy.
So.
Yeah. Yeah, she's a very upbeat person. You need that. You need that in your life.
Okay. Well, I think that's a great place to end this. So if you haven't seen Lyz Brickley, Bakley, Buckley, noodle dancing, then your job is
Buttercup Bricks on YouTube, isn't it?
I will link all of her accounts in the show notes, so you can easily find her, and I will make a special link to the noodle dance video because, in fact,
you'll be in Australia soon, right?
That's your next event. If I have your permission, I might just put it on the end of this podcast so people can watch it on the video.
Absolutely.
Okay, I'll just.
Eric really loves the noodle dance.
I'll just edit it right into.
I love that you love it.
So, yeah, it just cracks me up. Well, I think it kind of, I don't know, it kind of like for you and like your humor and stuff, it's like if you want to understand Lyz, just watch this one video, and it's like her encapsulated. And if that to you is enjoyable at all, then you'll love all her other videos. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, even going far back, like I've just recently rewatched a lot of the older ones, and like even though you're younger, it's still goofy like that. Like I was telling Liz, she dances to like Mulan with a sword and stuff, and like she ends her stream with a giant rabbit head and all these strange things. Like she's always just been a really kind of goofy lady.
Yeah.
So it's fun to watch. Yeah.
So
but your next event is Australia, right?
Yeah, we leave next week, a week from today, I think. Yeah, a week from today.
I'm jealous you're going to Australia. So
yeah, that's really exciting.
I'm so excited. It's for Haven Expo, which will probably be over by the time this goes live.
Yeah, but she's going to make lots of fun vlog and video stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see that. We've already talked about an idea that she had, and it got really funny, like the more and more we talked about it that day. So I hope that she has time to do that because it's another one that's just as good as this text message video that she just released. So I look forward to that. I love, she entertains me, and I talk to her all the time. So I'm excited for more content. So
do you have any parting thoughts? Anything you want to pass down to people out
words
there?
Words of wisdom.
I mean, not anything other than thank you guys so much for having me on. I'm like so excited. I can talk to you guys all day.
That's a good one.
Well,
bun to the sun.
Well, here's the thing: we can always bring you back on sometime.
Oh yeah,
and that would be great. And that would be great.
Yeah, this has been super fun.
Hopefully, if me and Liz have our thing that comes for Blizzcon this year, if that all works out, then we'll definitely do a little prequel thing to that and talk about it.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, that would be cool. Actually, that would be very fun to do like a pre-BlizzCon like show or something. So
yeah, before we actually wait till the last minute to finish everything. We'll talk about it before.
Yeah. Because everything
in the middle of it,
done,
it's just
everything
crazy.
will be done in before. There won't be any crunching or anything. Because
Yeah, of course.
That never happens.
Oh yeah, who would do that?
Where would that come from? Okay. Well, thank you for being here.
Hey,
Lyz Brickley.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Did I say it right?
It's actually Brinkley, thanks.
Oh, okay.
Just kidding, it's not. Don't.
No. Now I'm going to be confused. All right. And thank you for listeners for being here for Craft and Geek. And we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.